Hey there, English learners! Welcome to English Podcast for Life, the place where we help you speak English confidently, clearly, and without fear.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anne, and today's topic is something every English learner struggles with at some point: how to speak English without pausing. If you've ever felt like your brain freezes mid-sentence, or you pause too much because you're searching for the right word, this episode is for you.
That's right. And we're not talking about just removing all pauses. Some pauses are actually natural and even helpful, but we're focusing on the kind of pausing that breaks your flow, makes you sound unsure, or causes frustration.
Exactly. So in this episode, we'll talk about why this happens, how native speakers deal with it, and most importantly, what you can do to keep your English flowing smoothly.
We'll break everything down for you step by step. We'll share real-life tips, practical techniques, and our own experiences working with English learners. No boring lectures, no grammar lessons, just an honest conversation to help you become more fluent and confident.
So grab your coffee, tea, or just relax and listen while you're walking or cleaning or driving. You're going to learn a lot today.
Let's dive in.
So, Mark, let's go deeper into why people pause when they speak English. You mentioned vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and fear. Let's break those down one by one.
Sure. Let's start with vocabulary. This is the number one reason most learners pause. You're having a conversation, you know the idea in your mind, but you just can't remember the right English word.
Exactly. I've seen this a lot when learners are trying to describe something simple, like a bottle opener, but they don't know the word. So they stop and say, it's the thing you use to, bottle?
Yes, and this pause is completely normal. But when it happens a lot in a sentence, it can make speaking stressful and slow. So the key is to work on two things: your active vocabulary and your ability to describe things indirectly when needed.
We'll talk more about that skill later. But it's also about confidence, right? Many people actually know the word, but in the moment, they doubt themselves. So they pause to double check in their minds.
That's true. And that leads to the second reason: pronunciation. You know the word, you've seen it in writing, but you're not sure how to say it out loud.
That hesitation can lead to long pauses. I had a student once who always paused before the word comfortable. He wasn't sure whether to say it with 3 syllables or 4.
Oh, yes, that's a classic one. And that fear of saying it wrong makes your brain hit the brakes. You lose momentum.
So again, it's not just the word itself, but how you feel about using it. Which brings us to reason number 3, grammar.
Yes, English grammar can be tricky. Learners pause to think. Should I say go or went? Is it have eaten or ate? Do I use in or on? That's a lot to process during a conversation.
And grammar rules are often taught in isolation, like in books or classrooms. So when it's time to speak, those rules aren't automatic yet.
Which means your brain needs time to search for the correct structure. And while it's searching, you pause.
Now let's talk about the big one, fear.
Oh, yes. Fear causes more pauses than anything else. Fear of mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of sounding stupid.
And it's not just beginner learners. Even intermediate and advanced speakers can freeze when they're nervous.
That's right. I've seen B2 and C1 level learners who can write essays, but struggle to speak in a flow because they're afraid of saying something wrong.
The truth is, everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make grammar mistakes too, but they don't pause because of it. They just keep talking.
Exactly. They might say, he don't know, instead of he doesn't know. And they keep going. It doesn't stop them. But for learners, every mistake can feel huge.
So fear creates this mental block. It's like your brain is holding up a stop sign. Wait, don't say that. What if it's wrong?
And while your brain argues with itself, the sentence disappears.
So let's summarize. We pause because we're looking for words, we're not sure how to pronounce something, we're thinking about grammar, or we're afraid of making mistakes.
And sometimes it's a mix of all four at once. That's why it can feel overwhelming.
But here's the good news. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to speak like a native speaker. You just need to keep the flow going.
Yes, flow is everything. And in the next sections, we'll show you exactly how to build it.
Before we move on, let's share a story. Remember that student of yours, Sarah?
Oh, yes. Sarah from Poland. She used to pause all the time when speaking. Even simple conversations made her nervous.
Right. But then she changed one habit. She started speaking without translating in her head.
That was a game changer. She told me, when I stopped translating from Poland, I stopped pausing because her brain wasn't doing two jobs anymore.
It's a big idea, and we'll talk more about it later. But remember, Sarah listeners, she's proof that fluent speaking is possible, even if you pause a lot right now.
So don't worry if you feel stuck. You're not alone. And with practice, everything can change.
Coming up next, what role vocabulary really plays in fluency and how you can train your brain to speak faster and more naturally, even if your vocabulary is small.
That's right. We're going to show you how to speak with the words you already know and still sound fluent.
Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. In this section, we're talking about vocabulary and how it connects to fluency, flow, and speaking without pausing.
Yes, vocabulary is a huge part of fluency. But here's a surprise for many learners. You don't need to know thousands of words to speak well. You need to use the words you already know effectively.
Absolutely. Many learners think they need more and more words before they can speak fluently, but often they already know enough. They just don't feel confident using them.
Let's explain the difference between passive vocabulary and active vocabulary. Your passive vocabulary includes words you understand when you hear or read them. Your active vocabulary includes the words you can use automatically when speaking.
And for most learners, the passive vocabulary is much larger than the active one.
Exactly. You might recognize the word recommendation, but you always say suggestion when you speak, because it feels easier and more natural.
So here's the trick. You don't need to increase your vocabulary first. You need to activate the words you already know. That's what will help you stop pausing when you speak.
Let's give an example. Imagine someone wants to say, I didn't go to the party because I had to prepare for my final exam. But they can't remember prepare or final exam.
So they pause. They stop mid-sentence. They say, I didn't go to the party because I had to, study for the big school thing.
And while they're thinking, the conversation freezes. But if they had practiced using prepare or exam more often, that sentence would flow naturally.
That's why you need to repeat words, not just learn them once. Speak them out loud. Use them in your own sentences.
And don't just memorize, personalize.
I love that. Don't memorize, personalize. Instead of just writing the word exam in a notebook, say, I have an English exam next month. I'm nervous about the exam. The exam will be hard. Make the word yours.
That helps your brain remember it faster when speaking. So no more long pauses trying to find the word. It's already in your active vocabulary.
Let's talk about another common problem. Some learners feel they can't speak fluently because they only know basic vocabulary.
Yes, but you can speak fluently with simple words. In fact, native speakers often use very basic vocabulary in daily life.
Think about it. We don't say, I will consume a nutritious morning repast. We say, I'll eat breakfast.
Exactly. Simple words, clear communication, and fewer pauses.
Let me give you a fun challenge, Mark. Can you describe your morning routine using only A2 level words?
Sure. Let's see. I wake up, I wash my face, I make coffee, then I eat some bread with cheese. I check my phone. After that, I get dressed and go to work.
That's perfect. No fancy words, but it's fluent, clear, and natural.
And I didn't pause once. Why? Because I used words I'm totally comfortable with. That's the secret.
Yes, fluency is not about complexity. It's about comfort and confidence. Use the words you know. Don't wait to learn rare vocabulary before you start speaking.
And here's something powerful. If you don't know the exact word, describe it. For example, if you forget the word charger, you can say, the thing I use to give my phone power.
That's called paraphrasing. It keeps your sentence moving, even if you forget a word. It helps you speak without pausing.
Native speakers do this too. We say, what's that thing called? You know, the long stick you use to stir soup. Someone replies, a ladle? And we say, yes, that.
So don't be afraid to explain. Don't freeze. Don't stop the flow. Just keep talking, and the right word will often come to you later.
Let's talk about using vocabulary in context. One reason learners pause is because they only know a word in isolation.
For example, they know the word meeting, but they've never practiced the sentence, I have a meeting at 2 p.m. So when they try to say it, they hesitate.
That's why phrases and sentence chunks are so powerful. Your brain remembers patterns more easily than individual words.
Exactly. Instead of learning just important, learn it's important to, or this is really important because.
That way, your brain has ready-made pieces it can use automatically. No more stopping mid-sentence.
Another great one. Instead of learning recommend, learn I recommend that you, or I'd recommend trying.
Yes, that gives you fluency tools. Not just vocabulary, but vocabulary in action.
Let's also talk about fear of new words. Some learners know the word, but they pause because they're afraid to use it wrong.
Yes, that happens a lot. They hesitate before a word like opinion or decision because they're not 100% sure of the structure.
They might wonder, should I say, in my opinion, or on my opinion? So they pause.
Here's our advice. Don't wait for perfect. Use the word. If you make a small mistake, that's okay. You're still communicating. You're still practicing.
Mistakes are part of the process. The important thing is to try. You'll learn faster by using the word, not by avoiding it.
And the more often you use it, the less fear you'll feel. Confidence comes from experience, not from memorizing rules.
Let's wrap up this section with some vocabulary routines. These are habits that help you build a strong, active vocabulary and reduce pauses when speaking.
Routine number 1. Speak in short sentences every day using 5 to 10 target words. Just talk to yourself out loud or record yourself.
Routine number 2. Use word families. If you learn success, also learn successful, succeed, unsuccessful. This builds flexibility and fluency.
Routine number 3. Practice describing objects or actions in your room. Don't just say lamp. Say, it gives light. I use it when I read.
Routine number 4. Do many monologues. Pick a topic like food, weather, your job, and speak for 1 minute without stopping. Use words you already know.
Routine number 5. Listen and repeat. When watching English shows or listening to podcasts, pause and repeat full sentences out loud. This helps move words from passive to active memory.
So, vocabulary is not just about learning more words. It's about using what you already know and building habits to keep those words ready when you speak.
Yes, and that's how you reduce those awkward pauses. You speak with confidence because the words are right there, ready to go.
Next, we'll talk about a huge skill, thinking in English. It might sound difficult, but it's actually one of the best ways to speak more fluently and stop pausing.
Stay with us. You don't want to miss this next part.
Welcome back to English Podcast for Life. If you're just joining us, we're diving deep into how to speak English without pausing. And in this section, we're exploring something truly powerful, thinking in English.
Yes, this is one of the biggest fluency boosters out there. If you've ever felt stuck translating from your language into English while speaking, This section is going to open your eyes.
Let's start with a question. Why do so many people translate in their head before speaking?
It's natural. When you're learning a second language, your brain uses your first language as a base. So you think in your native language first, then try to find the English words. But this slows everything down.
Exactly. It creates a delay. You're not just speaking. You're doing 3 things at once: thinking in your language, translating, then speaking. And that's why you pause.
Let's imagine a simple sentence. I want a cup of coffee. If you think in English, that sentence comes out instantly. But if you first think in your language, translate it, then say it, it takes longer. The flow breaks.
And the more complex the sentence, the more time your brain needs to process. That's when those awkward, stressful pauses happen.
So the big question is, how do you stop translating and start thinking in English?
First, let's clear something up. You don't need to be fluent to start thinking in English. You can think in English with basic words. Even A1 learners can do it.
Yes, thinking in English is a habit, not a level. It's about practice, not perfection. You don't need big vocabulary. You need simple, direct thoughts.
Like, instead of thinking, I should go to the store later to buy vegetables, just think, go store, buy food. That's still thinking in English.
That's a great example. Keep it simple at first. Don't worry about grammar. Just get used to seeing the world in English.
Thinking in English in daily life. So how do you actually do it? Let's share some strategies. One of my favorites is narrating your actions.
Oh yes, that's a fun one. You basically talk to yourself in your mind as you go about your day. Like, I'm brushing my teeth now. I need to find my shoes. I'm making coffee.
It sounds silly, but it works. You're training your brain to associate English with your real life. And because you're not speaking out loud, there's no pressure.
Exactly. And once it becomes a habit, your brain starts to choose English automatically. No more silent translating. Just fluent thoughts.
Another trick? Label objects around you in English. Look at your desk and think, pen, notebook, phone, charger. Do this every day. It's simple but powerful.
And when you're walking outside, describe what you see. Blue car, man walking, raining today, I forgot my umbrella. Again, short, natural thoughts.
Let's talk about what actually happens when you stop translating. First, your brain gets faster. There's less delay between your thoughts and your words.
Second, your confidence grows. You start trusting yourself more. You're not always second-guessing your grammar or vocabulary.
And third, you pause less, much less, because you're not doing mental gymnastics anymore. You're just speaking.
I had a student named Diego. He used to pause all the time, even though his English was good. When we started practicing thinking in English, everything changed.
Yes, I remember you told me about him. He began with short thoughts, then built up to full inner conversations.
Exactly. After a few weeks, he told me, Mark, I don't need to translate anymore. I think in English without trying. That's when his fluency really improved.
Let's talk about inner monologues. These are silent conversations you have with yourself. They're a great way to practice thinking in English.
Yes. For example, you can plan your day in English in your head. Okay, I need to send that email first, then go to the bank. Maybe I'll get lunch with Sarah.
Or review your day before bed. Today was busy. I went to work, had a meeting, then did some shopping. I'm tired now.
These mental conversations help you use English in real, natural ways. And again, no pressure. No one hears your mistakes.
And here's a fun idea. Pretend you're being interviewed in English. Imagine someone asking you questions. What do you do? What are your hobbies? Then answer in your mind.
Yes, it's like mental role play. It helps you get comfortable expressing yourself, and it reduces the fear of speaking out loud.
Now, let's say you're thinking in English, but you don't know a word. What do you do?
Great question. Don't stop. Don't switch to your language. Instead, describe it or go around it. Use simple words.
Like if you can't remember air conditioner, say the machine that makes the room cold.
Or, if you forget appointment, say, I need to meet the doctor at 4.
This builds your fluency muscles. You stay in English even when the vocabulary is missing.
And over time, you'll learn the missing words naturally. But even before that, you'll still be able to communicate.
So, how do you move from thinking in English to speaking out loud in English without pausing?
Step 1 is building your inner world in English. We've talked about that. Step 2 is practicing short speech every day based on your thoughts.
Exactly. You think, I need to wash the dishes. Then say it out loud, even just to yourself. You say what you're thinking.
That way, the connection between your thoughts and your mouth becomes faster, smoother, automatic.
Another great method is to write what you're thinking. Then read it out loud. It's like giving your brain extra support.
Over time, your speaking starts to match your thoughts. You speak as you think. You no longer stop to translate or double-check.
Here are some key habits to help you start thinking in English every day.
Habit number 1, narrate your actions. Think in English while doing daily tasks.
Habit number 2, describe what you see. Look around and name things in English.
Habit number 3, have inner monologues. Plan your day. Reflect on your day, all in English.
Habit number 4, play mental interviews. Imagine questions and answer them in your mind.
Habit number 5, stay in English, even if you don't know the word. Describe it. Avoid switching back to your language.
Habit number 6, use your phone or a notebook to jot down your inner English thoughts, then practice saying them aloud later.
So, thinking in English isn't about being perfect. It's about changing the way your brain processes language. It's about training your brain to live in English.
And once that happens, your speaking becomes more natural. You stop pausing. You stop doubting. You just talk.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful fluency tools of all, filler words. These little words can actually help you sound more fluent, even when you're thinking.
That's right. Well, these aren't mistakes. They're tools. And in the next section, we'll show you how to use them.
Don't miss it. You're going to love this next part.
Welcome back to English Podcast for Life. In the last section, we talked about the power of thinking in English, and now we're diving into something that might surprise you. Pausing can actually be a good thing.
Yes, you don't need to be silent when you're thinking. You can keep the flow going using something called filler words. These are short, simple words or phrases that give you time to think without sounding unnatural.
Exactly. They're like little bridges between your ideas. And guess what? Native speakers use them all the time.
All the time. Seriously. Listen to any native English speaker, and you'll hear things like, well, so,
And these aren't signs of weakness. They actually make your speech feel natural. They show that you're thinking while talking, just like native speakers do.
What are filler words? Let's define them. Filler words are words or short phrases we use when we need a second to think, when we're not sure what to say next, or when we want to keep the listener engaged.
Right. They don't usually carry deep meaning, but they play a big role in spoken communication. They help you manage rhythm, tone, and time.
Here are some common filler words and phrases. Well, so, like, let me think, actually, basically, right?
And the best part? You probably already use some of these in your own language, so using them in English is very natural.
Let's say you're in a conversation. Someone asks you, what do you like to do on weekends?
You might pause awkwardly and say nothing, or you can say, well, I usually just relax. Maybe go out with friends. It depends.
That answer flows. It sounds relaxed. And it gave you time to think while speaking. That's the power of filler words.
They buy you time. They keep your rhythm. They show you're engaged in the conversation, even if your next thought isn't ready yet.
And remember, your goal isn't to eliminate all pauses. Your goal is to control them. Filler words help you do that.
Now, you might wonder, Can you use too many filler words?
Yes, definitely. If you say like in every sentence, I was like really tired, it can be distracting.
So here's the trick. Use filler words strategically. Not too often, but just enough to keep your flow smooth.
Think of them like seasoning in food. A little bit adds flavor. Too much can ruin the dish.
Nice metaphor, Mark. So here's how to use them naturally. Practice with slow, relaxed speech. Say something like, "So, I guess I'd say my favorite movie is... Actually, it's The Lord of the Rings."
That sounds fluent, right? Even though there were pauses, it didn't break the flow.
Exactly, because the filler words made the pauses feel natural and conversational.
Let's give more real-life examples, using filler words in different situations.
Sure, here's one. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your weekend?" You might say, it was pretty good. I mean, I didn't do anything super exciting, but yeah, it was relaxing."
See how I mean, and but make the answer feel human.
Here's another. You're asked, "What's your opinion on working from home?" You say, "Well, I think it really depends. Like, for some people, it's great, but for others, it's kind of hard to focus, you know?"
Again, fluid, conversational, and natural. Filler words make it sound like real speech.
And here's a quick tip. Record yourself using filler words in a casual answer. Listen to it. Does it sound like something a native speaker would say? If yes, you're on the right track.
Let's also talk about controlled pauses. Not every pause needs a filler word. Sometimes a silent pause with good intonation is just as powerful.
For example, when you're telling a story, you can pause for effect. Like, "I opened the door, and the room was completely dark."
That pause adds drama. It holds the listener's attention.
Exactly. So the key is to own your pauses. Don't let them control you. You control them.
Yes, even silence can be powerful, if you're confident about it.
Now, let's talk practice. How can learners get comfortable using filler words?
Start by choosing 3 or 4 that feel natural to you. Maybe, well, you know, I mean, and so.
Then do this. Record a short answer to a question, like, "What's your favorite food?" Try to use at least one filler word.
Say something like, well, I really love pizza. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Perfect. Keep it natural. Don't force it. Over time, it'll become part of your speaking style.
You can also do role plays. Pretend you're in a casual conversation and use filler words to help you stay in the flow.
Another great exercise, watch English interviews or YouTube videos. Listen for filler words. Write them down. You'll be surprised how often they appear.
Yes, you'll hear native speakers use them constantly. That's how people talk in real life.
So, filler words are not a mistake. They're a skill. They help you sound natural, relaxed, and fluent, even when your brain is thinking.
They also help reduce fear, because when you know you can pause without breaking the conversation, you feel more in control.
And that's what fluency is about. Not perfection, but control. You control the speed, the pauses, the rhythm.
So start small. Pick your favorite filler words. Practice using them in short answers. Record yourself. Use them when talking to friends or teachers.
And soon, your speech will feel smoother, more confident, and a lot more like real English.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about training your flow. Not just avoiding pauses, but speaking in long, clear sentences without freezing.
That's right. We'll show you practical ways to build fluency and keep the words moving, like a conversation river.
Haha, yes, a river of English. Stay with us. The best is yet to come.
Welcome back. In this section, we're talking about flow, the key to sounding natural, confident, and fluent in English.
Yes, flow means your words move smoothly from one idea to the next. It's what makes native speakers sound like they're just talking, not thinking too hard.
And when you have flow, You pause less. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop freezing in the middle of a sentence. You sound relaxed and confident.
But here's the big question. How do you train your flow?
That's what we're here for. So let's dive in and show you how to build flow step by step.
First, what exactly do we mean by flow?
Flow is your ability to speak in full sentences, connect your thoughts, and keep your speech moving, even when you're thinking or unsure.
It's about rhythm. It's about pacing. It's about not stopping just because a word is missing or grammar isn't perfect.
It's that feeling when English comes out naturally, like a river that keeps moving.
And once you have flow, speaking becomes fun. You stop worrying about every little mistake. You start enjoying conversations.
To train your flow, start small. Don't try to speak for 5 minutes right away. Begin with short phrases and build them into longer sentences.
For example, start with something simple like, I like pizza. Then expand it. I like pizza because it's delicious. Now add more. I like pizza because it's delicious, and I usually eat it on the weekend with my friends.
This is called sentence building, and it's one of the best ways to create longer thoughts without stopping.
Do this as a daily exercise. Start with one idea, add to it, then add more. Practice flowing from one sentence to the next.
And don't stop to fix grammar while you speak. That's a writing skill. Speaking is about movement.
Connectors are like bridges. They connect one thought to the next, and they help you sound fluent, even when your ideas are simple.
Here are some useful connectors: and, but, so, because, then, after that, however, actually, in fact, for example, also.
Let's build a flow using connectors. Start with, I woke up late. Now connect. I woke up late, so I missed the bus. Then I had to walk to work. After that, I bought coffee because I was really tired.
Perfect. You're telling a little story, and it flows. The connectors give structure to your speaking.
The best part? These are easy words. You probably already know them, but when you use them with purpose, your speech becomes smooth.
This is one of our favorite fluency exercises, speaking without stopping. It's exactly what it sounds like. You speak for 30 seconds, 1 minute, or even 2 minutes without pausing.
You can choose any topic, your day, your favorite movie, your childhood, your morning routine. The goal is to keep talking, even if you make mistakes.
You can use filler words, you can repeat ideas, you can say, let me think, or what else, but don't stop.
It might feel hard at first, but every time you do it, your flow gets stronger. You stop worrying about grammar. You start focusing on communication.
And that's fluency. Not perfect grammar, communication.
Here's a tip. Record yourself. Listen back. You'll hear where you hesitate, where you repeat, and where you flow well.
Then do it again. Try to make the second version smoother. It's like training your muscles, but for speaking.
Shadowing is an amazing tool for training flow. It's when you listen to a native speaker and try to copy exactly what they say in real time.
Yes, you can use a YouTube video, a podcast, a TV show, anything with clear speech. You press play, and as the speaker talks, you speak with them.
At first, it's hard, but your brain starts learning the rhythm of English, the timing, the phrasing, the stress patterns.
And because you're following a natural speaker, you learn how to connect words, how to move from one sentence to the next without pausing.
Shadowing teaches you how to speak like a fluent speaker. It's like having a personal speech coach built into your phone.
Start with just 10-15 seconds. Repeat it again and again. Then move to longer parts. It's powerful training.
Here's something that might surprise you. Energy helps with flow. When you speak with passion, your words move faster and more naturally.
Yes, if you speak with flat emotion, like a robot, you often pause more. But when you care about what you're saying, you push through the hesitation.
Try saying, I love this movie, it's so exciting, with real feeling. It flows better than if you say it in a low, flat tone.
Your brain responds to emotion. Your speech speeds up. Your pauses disappear. You're in the conversation, not outside of it.
So don't be afraid to use energy, hand gestures, expression, especially when you practice alone. It builds your fluency confidence.
Fluency is a daily habit. You don't need hours of practice, but you do need consistency.
Speak every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Talk to yourself. Talk to a friend. Record a video. Join an online group. Say something out loud.
Here's a fun routine. Minute 1. Talk about your day. Minute 2. Describe a memory. Minute 3. Explain how to do something. Minute 4. Share your opinion on a topic. Minute 5. Speak freely about anything.
That's 5 minutes of flow training every single day, and it adds up fast.
After just 1 month, your ability to speak without pausing will skyrocket.
Let's be real. There's no flow without mistakes. You will make grammar errors. You will say awkward sentences. That's okay.
The goal is not perfection. It's communication. It's momentum. Keep the words moving. Don't let fear stop the flow.
Think of speaking like riding a bicycle. If you stop pedaling every time you feel nervous, you fall. But if you keep pedaling, even slowly, you stay balanced.
That's a perfect image. Just keep speaking. Keep your rhythm. Use filler words. Connect ideas. Tell stories. And trust the process.
Fluency is not magic. It's practice. It's habit. And it's absolutely possible for you.
Let's wrap up this section with something important. Flow is not something you're born with. It's something you build.
Anyone can train it. Anyone can improve it. Even if you pause a lot now, even if you feel stuck, flow is waiting for you.
Just like music, dance, or cooking, fluency comes from doing it again and again. Don't aim for perfect, aim for progress.
And remember this, your words matter. Your thoughts are important. And the more you speak, the better you'll get at sharing them, clearly, confidently, and without pausing.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about a superpower for fluency, listening. That's right, listening well can actually help you speak better and with fewer pauses.
It's true. Good speakers are often good listeners. We'll show you how listening can train your flow and boost your confidence in real conversations.
Don't miss it. Welcome back. We're so glad you're still with us on this journey. You've learned about vocabulary, thinking in English, using filler words, and training your flow. Now, let's explore a secret ingredient that often gets overlooked: listening.
That's right. If you want to speak English without pausing, you can't just practice speaking. You also need to become a great listener.
Because when you listen like a fluency pro, your brain learns the rhythm, tone, speed, and patterns of natural English, and that gives you the tools to speak more naturally yourself.
Let's get into it.
Most English learners think of listening and speaking as separate skills, but actually, they're deeply connected.
Yes, when you listen to English a lot, you start to absorb how sentences work. You notice how native speakers move from one idea to the next.
And here's the magic. Your brain remembers those patterns. So later, when you speak, you can copy the structure without having to think too hard.
That reduces pausing because you're not inventing every sentence. You're reusing patterns that are already in your head.
Think of it like learning music. Before you play a song on the guitar, you listen to it many times. Your brain knows how it's supposed to sound. Then you try to play it.
It's the same with English. You listen, you absorb, and then you produce.
So, what kinds of listening are best for building fluency?
Great question. The answer is listen to real, natural English as often as possible.
That includes podcasts with real conversations, English interviews, audiobooks with natural speech, YouTube videos with native speakers, TV shows and movies, short TED Talks or speeches.
But here's the key. Don't just listen once. Repeat. Fluency comes from hearing the same patterns again and again.
Pick your favorite speaker or show. Listen to one 5-minute clip every day for a week. You'll notice the phrases start to become part of your own speech.
And choose voices that match your goals. If you want to speak casually, listen to casual speakers. If you need professional English, listen to business presentations.
Now, let's talk about how to listen. There's a big difference between passive and active listening.
Passive listening is when you play English in the background while you're doing something else, washing dishes, driving, walking.
That's fine for exposure, but to build speaking fluency, you need active listening.
Active listening means you focus, you pay attention, you listen with purpose.
Here's how you do it. Choose a short clip, 1 to 3 minutes long. Listen once without stopping. Listen again, and this time, pause after each sentence. Try to repeat the sentence out loud, copying the speaker's tone and speed. Listen a third time, without looking at any subtitles or transcripts. Try to shadow.
That's powerful training. You're not just listening, you're copying, you're absorbing, and you're activating your brain's fluency center.
Let's go deeper into shadowing. It's one of the most powerful tools for speaking without pausing.
We mentioned it earlier, but now let's break it down step by step.
Step 1. Find a clear English audio or video, ideally a native speaker speaking at a natural speed.
Step 2. Listen to a short segment, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Then immediately try to repeat what you hear at the same time as the speaker.
Yes, don't wait. Don't pause. Try to speak with them, like a shadow. That's why it's called shadowing.
It will feel hard at first. You'll miss words, you'll fall behind, but keep going. The goal isn't perfection, it's fluency practice.
Over time, your mouth will move faster, your brain will get used to English rhythm, and your pauses will disappear.
Do this for 10 minutes a day. After a month, your speaking speed and flow will improve dramatically.
When you listen often, your brain collects ready-made phrases. These are complete sentences or sentence parts you can use instantly.
Like, I'm not really sure, but that's a good question. Actually, I think what I mean is, to be honest.
These chunks make your speaking smoother because instead of building every sentence from zero, you just plug in what you already know.
That's why we say, listening builds fluency automatically. You collect the building blocks without even trying.
Let's talk about repetition. Repetition is your friend. If you want to speak fluently, you need to listen to the same material multiple times.
Yes, it might feel boring, but it's actually powerful.
The first time, your brain is just trying to understand. The second time, you start to notice structure. The third time, you hear tone and speed. The fourth time, you can start shadowing. The fifth time, it starts to feel like yours.
So don't rush to new material every day. Instead, master small pieces.
Here's another thing you'll learn through listening: rhythm and stress.
English has a natural beat. Certain words are stressed. Others are weak or fast. Listening helps you hear that.
For example, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go.
Each one has different stress, and that changes the meaning or emotion.
When you listen carefully, you start to feel the rhythm. You speak more naturally. You pause less because your words are dancing to the beat of English.
So, how do you combine listening and speaking? In one routine,
here's a sample 15-minute fluency routine. Pick a short audio clip, 1 to 2 minutes long. Listen once for understanding. Listen again and write down useful phrases. Shadow the speaker, one sentence at a time. Record yourself reading the same sentences. Compare your version with the original. Speak freely about the topic for 1 minute.
this method includes listening, repeating, recording, and speaking. It trains your fluency from every angle.
When you listen, be curious, not critical. Don't judge yourself if you don't understand every word. That's normal.
Instead, ask yourself, what expressions did I hear? How did they connect ideas? What was the speaker's tone? What was the rhythm of their sentence?
That's how you grow. Not by chasing every grammar point, but by noticing how real English sounds.
And remember, fluency comes from repetition, not perfection.
Here's our message. Listening is not passive. It's powerful. Every time you listen, you're teaching your brain how to speak.
You're learning vocabulary and context. You're learning sentence rhythm. You're learning tone, emotion, speed, and natural pauses.
And when it's time to speak, you won't need to pause, because your brain already knows what English sounds like.
So listen often, listen deeply, listen actively, and your speaking will grow naturally, without stress, without fear, and without long pauses.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about something all English learners face: nervousness. Speaking anxiety can cause hesitation and silence, but we'll show you how to stay calm, speak clearly, and keep the words flowing.
Yes, confidence is fluency's best friend. You won't want to miss this next section.
Hello again, dear listeners. We're so glad you're here. Up to now, we've talked about many techniques to help you speak English smoothly. But let's be honest, sometimes, no matter how much practice you do, nervousness can stop you cold.
Absolutely. Speaking anxiety is one of the biggest reasons people pause or freeze during conversations.
So today, we're going to explore how to handle those nerves, how to keep your speech clear even when your heart is racing.
Let's start with why nerves affect your speaking. When you're anxious, your brain goes into fight or flight mode.
That's right. Your body releases adrenaline, your heart beats faster, your breathing changes, and your mind might blank.
It's hard to think clearly. Words get stuck, pauses get longer.
And when you notice yourself pausing, you get even more nervous. It becomes a cycle. The first step to managing nervousness is recognition.
Pay attention to your body signals. Do your hands sweat? Is your voice shaking? Do you breathe quickly?
When you notice these signs early, you can take action before the pause gets worse.
Even saying to yourself silently, "Okay, I'm nervous. That's normal," helps calm your mind.
Breathing is your best tool against nerves.
Try this simple exercise anytime you feel stuck. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds.
Repeat this 3 times. It lowers your heart rate and relaxes your vocal cords.
A relaxed voice sounds clearer and smoother. That helps reduce pausing.
Another great tip is preparation. When you prepare key phrases or sentences ahead of time, you build confidence.
For example, if you're going to introduce yourself, prepare. "Hello, my name is Mark. I'm from the UK. I enjoy reading and hiking."
When you have your key phrases ready, you can fall back on them if you get nervous.
It's like having a safety net. It keeps your speech moving.
When nerves hit, keep your language simple.
Don't try to use long or complicated sentences. Short, clear sentences reduce chances of getting stuck.
For example, instead of saying, "I'm fascinated by the multifaceted nature of English literature," say, "I like English books a lot."
Simple language equals more flow, less stopping.
Many learners panic and try to speak faster to hide their nerves, but speeding up often causes more pauses and mistakes.
Instead, slow down. Take your time. Speak clearly.
And when you pause, pause on purpose. Use pauses to breathe or think, but don't let them feel like mistakes.
For example, say, "Let me think," or "That's an interesting question," to fill a natural pause.
How you talk to yourself matters. Positive self-talk can reduce nervousness.
Instead of thinking, "I'll mess up," say, "It's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning."
Encourage yourself with phrases like, "I'm prepared," "I can do this," "I'm improving every day."
Your brain listens to these messages. Positive thinking makes your speaking calmer and more fluent.
Visualization is a powerful mental technique.
Before a conversation or presentation, close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking confidently.
See yourself speaking clearly, smiling, and having a good conversation.
This trains your brain to expect success
reducing fear and hesitation.
Finally, practice speaking where you feel safe.
Talk to friends, language partners, or tutors who are patient and supportive.
Start with short, easy conversations, gradually increase difficulty.
The more you practice in a relaxed environment, the easier it becomes to speak confidently anywhere.
Nervousness is a natural part of learning a language. Even native speakers feel it sometimes.
The good news? You can manage it with simple strategies: breathing, preparation, positive thinking, and practice.
Remember, pausing because of nerves isn't failure. It's just a sign to slow down and breathe.
With time, you'll find your voice becomes steady and your words flow freely, even in stressful situations.
Next up, we're going to talk about expanding your vocabulary without getting stuck searching for words.
Yes, more words, better flow. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to English Podcasts for Life. So far, we've covered thinking in English, filler words, flow, listening, and managing nervousness. Today, we're tackling another big challenge: building vocabulary in a way that helps you speak smoothly without freezing.
Yes, a lot of learners get stuck because they don't know the right words or they try to translate from their own language. That causes long pauses.
But vocabulary growth doesn't have to be overwhelming. With the right strategies, you can build a solid word bank and speak confidently without stopping.
Vocabulary is the fuel of your speech. Without words, you can't express your thoughts.
But more important than just knowing many words is knowing how to use them quickly.
That's right. Fluency is not about having a huge dictionary in your head. It's about having ready-to-use words and phrases that come to mind instantly.
Start by focusing on high-frequency words, the most common words English speakers use every day.
These include simple verbs like go, have, do, and adjectives like good, new, interesting.
Learn phrases, not just individual words. Phrases like, I'm not sure. What do you think? That sounds great.
Phrases are chunks of language you can use immediately, which helps you avoid long pauses.
It's also helpful to learn vocabulary by topic. For example, words and phrases for introducing yourself, talking about family, describing your hobbies, ordering food, shopping, work and study.
This way, when a topic comes up, you already have the right words ready. No more searching for words mid-sentence.
Another important point, learn words in context, not alone.
Yes, if you learn the word delicious with a phrase like, this pizza is delicious, you're more likely to remember it and use it.
Context helps your brain connect words to real-life situations. That makes speaking faster and easier.
Sometimes you don't know the exact word. That's okay. Use synonyms or simple alternatives.
For example, if you forget the word exhausted, you can say very tired.
The key is to keep speaking, not stop because you don't know one word.
Word retrieval means training your brain to find words quickly when you speak.
Try this. Pick a topic and list as many words as you can about it in 1 minute. Don't worry about grammar or full sentences.
This trains your brain to search faster and reduces hesitation during conversation.
Using pictures or stories helps remember vocabulary better.
For example, imagine a story about going to a restaurant. You see the waiter, the menu, the food. You connect new words to that story.
When you speak, your brain recalls the story and the words come naturally.
This one is big. Translation slows you down. Instead, train yourself to think in English.
When you want to say something, try to imagine it in English first. Use simple words and phrases you already know.
It's okay to make mistakes. The goal is to speak directly in English without mental translation.
Create a personal list of useful words and phrases you can rely on anytime.
Review it often. Add new expressions as you learn.
Having a go-to list gives you confidence and helps keep your speech moving.
Vocabulary is one of your best tools for fluency. The trick is to learn it smartly. Focus on common words, phrases, and context.
Don't let missing words stop you. Use alternatives. Use what you know. Keep speaking.
With time, your word bank will grow and your pauses will shrink.
Next time, we'll explore the power of storytelling to speak longer and more confidently without pausing.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful ways to speak English smoothly, storytelling.
That's right. Storytelling isn't just for writers or entertainers. It's a secret fluency tool that helps you speak longer, stay focused, and keep the words flowing without pausing.
So if you want to sound confident and natural, storytelling is your best friend.
When you tell a story, you're not just saying random sentences. You're sharing a connected series of ideas.
Stories have a natural flow, a beginning, middle, and end. That structure guides your speaking.
Plus, when you tell stories, you think less about each word and more about the whole picture. That reduces hesitation.
It's like having a map. You know where you're going, so you keep moving forward.
Let's break down a simple story structure you can use every time. Beginning. Introduce the setting and characters. Middle. Describe the problem or event. End. Share the results or conclusion.
For example, if you want to tell a story about your last weekend I went to the park with my friends. Beginning. We decided to have a picnic, but then it started to rain. Middle. So we moved to a cafe nearby and had a great time. End.
See? Easy to follow. And because it's structured, you don't need to stop to think about what to say next.
The best stories come from your own life. Personal experiences are interesting and easier to remember.
Try telling simple stories about your day, your hobbies, or your childhood.
You can also talk about movies you watched, books you read, or trips you took.
Because you know these stories well, you speak more confidently and naturally.
Details help your story come alive, and they give you more words to say.
For example, instead of, I went to the park, say, I went to a big park near my house. The weather was sunny and warm.
Add feelings and opinions too. I felt happy because I hadn't seen my friends in a long time.
Details help your speech flow because you have more to talk about.
Just like we talked about earlier, connectors are essential in storytelling.
Use words like then, after that, so, because, but, however, to move your story forward.
For example, we wanted to play soccer, but it started raining, so we went inside.
Connectors help your story sound smooth and logical.
Practice is the key to telling stories without pausing.
Try telling your story out loud, even if it's just to yourself.
You can record it, listen, and then try again.
With practice, you'll find it easier to remember your story and keep the words flowing.
Storytelling is also useful for real conversations.
People love stories. When you tell a story in a conversation, the listener stays interested.
It also gives you a clear path for speaking so you don't freeze.
Try preparing a few simple stories about yourself. That way, when someone asks, you're ready to answer smoothly.
To sum up, storytelling helps you organize your thoughts, speak longer, and sound natural.
It reduces pausing because you're focused on the story, not just individual words.
So start practicing today. Pick a simple story and tell it out loud.
Next up, we'll finish our series by sharing tips on keeping your motivation strong and making speaking English a daily habit.
Thanks for joining us. See you in the final section. Welcome back to the final section of our series. We've covered so much, from thinking in English to storytelling. Now, the big question: how do you keep speaking English every day and stay motivated?
That's right. Motivation is the fuel that keeps your fluency engine running. Without it, all the tips and practice in the world won't help.
Learning a language is a long journey. It's normal to feel tired or frustrated sometimes.
But motivation keeps you going during those tough days. It helps you build habits that make fluency automatic.
Start by setting clear and realistic goals. Instead of saying, I want to speak perfect English, say, I want to speak for 5 minutes without pausing.
Small goals are easier to reach and build confidence. Celebrate every success, no matter how small.
Make speaking English a daily habit. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day adds up fast.
Try to speak at the same time every day, morning, lunchtime, or before bed.
Consistency is more important than duration. Regular practice trains your brain to think and speak in English automatically.
Speaking with others is motivating. Join language groups, find conversation partners online, or practice with friends.
Sharing your progress and struggles with others makes the journey easier and more fun. Make English part of your life. Think in English while cooking, describe what you see on a walk, or talk to yourself about your plans.
The more you use English naturally, the less you pause when speaking.
Celebrate your milestones. After reaching a goal, treat yourself to something you enjoy. A favorite snack, a movie, or a day off.
Rewards create positive associations with learning and keep motivation high.
Fluency doesn't happen overnight. Some days will be harder than others.
Be patient. Don't criticize yourself for mistakes or pauses. Every step forward counts.
Imagine yourself speaking English confidently, having great conversations, and achieving your dreams.
Keep that vision clear in your mind. It's a powerful motivator.
You have everything you need to speak English without pausing: strategies, mindset, and the will to improve.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't give up.
Thank you for joining us on English Podcast for Life. We believe in your success and can't wait to hear you speak fluently.
Good luck and see you next time.